there, have you thought about making a move here to Utah, but you're not exactly sure on the steps that you should take in order to make the move out here? Well, you are in luck, because today I'm going to be sharing the steps that you should think about and consider if you are thinking about relocating or making a move here to Utah. And we're going to hop into it right now. Here. Welcome back to the channel, or welcome to the channel if this is your very first time here. I'm a licensed and active real estate agent here in Utah, and this channel is literally everything you need to know about eating, working, playing, sleeping, and living in Utah. If that is of interest to you, consider subscribing down below. Make sure you tap that bell for notifications so you are notified every week we drop a new video. We hear from people like you all the time who are looking to make a move, who are looking to relocate, buy or sell a property here, and we absolutely love it. So if you're thinking about making a move in a week, in a month, or even a year from now, feel free to give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email, and it would be our pleasure to connect with you. So if you are thinking about making a move, I also wanted to let you know I have got a free guide. Yes, a free guide to living in Utah. Drop the word comment down below, guide, Guide, and I would love to send you my free guide to living here in Utah. So let's hop right into it. So you've been doing some research, you've been watching videos here on YouTube, and you continue to come back to Utah. Maybe it's for work, maybe it's for family, maybe it's because of education. Whatever the reason is, you continue to be drawn here to Utah. Fantastic, and I'm so glad you're here with me today. So I'm going to kind of walk you through some of the steps if you are thinking about making a move, relocating here to Utah. Step number one, reach out to me. Reach out to me. I would love to connect with you, because you can share with me what you're looking for, what your time horizon's like, what you're, specifically looking for. And I would love to help you out. So number one, get in contact with me. Number two, let's figure out a time for you to come out here to Utah to tour some of the different areas. You might be thinking of living in the Salt Lake area. You might be thinking about Park City. You might be thinking about Southern Utah. Wherever the area is that you are thinking about relocating here in Utah, coming out, give yourself at least a few days, if not a week. I have had clients do this on a regular basis. They will fly in, they will drive in, and they will simply start touring areas. After, before they've contacted me, they've said, hey, Mariah, you know what? This is what I'm looking for. I want to be 15 minutes away from the airport. I'm looking at being, this close to a university. I'm looking at being close to the golf course, to skiing, to whatever it is that you're specifically looking for. Let me know. And when you come on out here, we can narrow down your search. And if you give me, the guidelines of what you're looking for, and I can direct you to whatever it is that you are specifically looking for. Once you've found an area that is of interest to you, that you're like, oh my goodness, I've narrowed it down to three communities, or three different areas, or cities, or neighborhoods, whatever that is. Once we've narrowed it down and we've got what you're looking for in terms of, we've got a price point, we've got what you're looking for square footage wise, what it's close to, what it's not, all those different things. Once you give us the parameters, we can really just start narrowing down that specific property search to those areas. One of the things within that too, making sure once you've come out, once you've toured areas and stuff, you're really going to want to get pre-approved. Yes, pre-approved means you are going to want to talk with a lender to see what your, what you feel comfortable with in your price range for purchasing a house. The reason this is so important is so that you are not wasting your time in terms of like looking at all these different things. You're like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to get into this or this or this or this. But maybe, that's not going to fit into your finances, or maybe it does, or maybe you can expand your search to different areas. So it will really help you in your time and your efforts and all of that. So getting pre-approved, reaching out, figuring out areas, planning a trip to come out here and figuring that all out. Next thing is really to be able to figure out your time horizon. I have people that have reached out that are like, hey, we're thinking in 2 years from now. We're thinking in 3 years from now. We're thinking in, by the end of summer, by the end of this year, whatever that is. Everybody's time frame is very different. So figuring out what is going to work best for you in your situation, figure out that time frame. And once we have that time frame, we can also kind of reverse engineer it too. Touring houses that, may not be available in a year from now might not make sense if you're coming out, but getting an idea of areas, getting an idea of neighborhoods, getting an idea of style, price point, all of those different things will really help you when you are ready to, make that move and to purchase. So once you've come on out, you've reached out, you've been able to narrow some, different areas down, you've talked to your lender, you've gotten pre-approved. If you don't have a lender that you're working with, I have some fabulous lenders that I work with on a regular basis. So if you need a referral, if you need, a connection with one, please let me know and I would be happy to connect you with them. Once we get to the point where you're like, hey, we're ready to move in the next 60 days, 90 days from now, even I usually say that if you're thinking about moving in the next 3 months, 4 months, that is when we should be getting you on a property search. So you've already told us the parameters, you've already given us an idea of what you're, looking for. Then we really want to have, that house search that you're going to be able to get. So I can start sending you properties of what you're going to be looking for. Usually here in Utah, the typical escrow, how long it takes in order for you to go under contract, it depends on everybody's situation. But once you start looking, I've had clients that have found the house the weekend they have come out, put an offer on it, and 30 days later, they're in that house with keys. I have had other clients that it's taken, a year where they, come out multiple times, they tour different properties, and then they were able to figure out, which property was going to work best for them. So from this time though, depending on your price point, depending on the time of year, usually here in Utah, the time of year, winter, fall are usually going to be a slower time of year in terms of purchasing a home. Homes are going to be on the market usually a little bit longer. The inventory is going to usually be a little bit less, but come towards spring. And again, this depends on interest rates too. So when interest rates are higher, the house prices are going to be typically a little bit lower. Here in Utah, we've seen a slight decrease, but not anything major where people are like, oh my gosh, I need to get in the house right this minute. But the second, I'm telling you this, the second interest rates go way down, the housing prices are going to go back up again. So just kind of know that if you're waiting for the spring and you're thinking, I am going to wait till spring, just know there's going to probably be more competition. The interest rates may or may not be a little bit lower. So if they are, the housing prices are going to go, back up again, and just more competition. So kind of know that gauging, depending on what you're thinking. Usually give yourself about 3 months. Once you start looking to, usually I have clients that are like, okay, I'm going to start looking, and like seriously looking, they give themselves a couple of months. And then once they narrow it down, we can start submitting offers on, that house that you're interested in. Once it gets accepted, typically, like I said, it's about a 30-day close. It can be a little bit longer. It can be a little bit shorter. If you're paying with cash, usually cash is going to be, a shorter close of escrow. You're able to determine that a little bit more. So hopefully this gives you a good idea. If you are thinking about moving, relocating out here, contact me. I would love to chat with you, see what you're looking for next. Plan a trip out here, figure out what areas that you're looking at, what's going to be most appealing to you. Next, meet with a lender. If you don't have a lender, reach out to me. I would love to share my lender information with you. And then really, set those parameters of what you're looking for, and then we can just really zero in on that. And then once you're kind of in that 90-day window, I can start sending you properties, a year in advance, 2 years in advance. But some of those things, it'll give you a feel of maybe what you can expect in those areas, but price points obviously will, fluctuate over the years. So if you're looking for that, we can start you on a property search. We can get that set up. Typically, like I said, 90 days, start that, and you can start looking. Again, you'll probably want to plan a trip out here. I still have clients that I will do video walkthroughs and tours through homes, and they'll say, oh my gosh, I think this is the one. They'll fly out, they'll check it out. Yep, this is it. and we go from there. So hopefully this gives you a little bit of an idea. If you are thinking about making a move, you are thinking about relocating, you've got questions about this, feel free to reach out. Feel free to give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email. My team and I hear from people like you all the time, and we absolutely love it. If you're looking for a relocating to Utah guide, again, comment the word down below, guide, Guide, and I would love to pass along my relocating, moving here to Utah guide to help you with everything in that way. So again, wishing you a fabulous day. Please feel free to give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email, and we will chat with you soon. Take care. Bye.